Vivian. Messages. Someone else, yes? Yes, at the back? Okay. Sisame. Okay. At the back. Phone calls? Yes.
Extreme punishment.
Extreme punishment? Yes. What other forms of abuse do we know? This row?
Emotional abuse.
Emotional abuse? Yes. Drug abuse? Sexual abuse? Peer pressure?
Abusive language.
Abusive language? At the back?
Gender-based violence.
Gender-based violence? Now, I can see you have an idea of what we're talking about. Wangapi tuko na simu, already naziona? How many of us have phones? Me, I have mine. Kwani tunaogopana? We are very brave kids, eh? In the morning, you're very brave. How many of us have phones? Yes. Laptops, even at home. Wangapi tuko nazo tablets at home for mom and dad? So, how do we use our phones? Tunatumia phones kwa nini?
Communicate to our friends.
You communicate with your friends. Googling? What do you Google? Una Google? Movie. That's sasa kufunga, si ndio? So what do you What movies do you Google?
Yes.
Yes, which ones? Yeah, look at research. What do you research on? How else do we use our phones or our tablets? Or mom's laptop and dad's tablet?
Learning online.
Learning online?
Zoom classes.
Zoom classes? So we are saying we know how to use our phones, eh? Yes. Is there anything, you've all spoken of very good things, isn't it? Yes. Do you have things happening when we use our phones or laptops or computers or tablets? Yes. For example,
Ni oxea. Ni as in for online.
yeah, you're right. Cyberbullying. What else? I can see a few faces that I know. What else happens
Watching
when you're online?
Watching pornography.
No, what's going on? Who watches? As children, you come across pornography. We are talking about very big issues, and we are here after lunch tukisema there is emotional abuse, there is physical abuse. Sawa. When it comes to abuse in the internet, there is one form called online grooming. And when I talk about online grooming, it's when you are on Facebook or IG and someone has sent you a friend request. Then you accept. But do you know who this person is? So in the process of making friends with you as in unaweza kuwabadisha na yule mtu hata kufika kama ndege ama jamaa sisi tuko na mbao you don't even know who it is and you already block and report. Who do you report to?
My parents.
Your parents? Your guardian? Who else do you report to? The organization. If somebody cyberbullied you on Facebook, would you know how to report? We are going to see how we can report that. So tumeongea ya grooming. Grooming ile tu tunataka na mtu then you start making friends. Alright? But huyo anataka mko friends in a very bad way. So, then we go to sexting. So kuna mtu anasema hapa you receive some bad messages. Yes. Has someone ever asked you to send them pictures zako ukiwa naked? I mean, I don't know pretenders. Has anybody ever asked you to take pictures of you naked? Have you ever had a child anaitishwa picha naked? Yes. Have you ever seen picha naked za mtoto kwa mtandao? Yes. That is what we call sexting. Sawa. Mtu amekuitisha amekwambia piga picha yako ya uchi, either your boobs or your private parts, umtumie. That is what we call what? Sexting. It's a very common practice among teenagers like yourself, to your boyfriend or to your girlfriend, and it is not meant to be harmful. Okay? Me, when I was growing up a long time ago, tunatuma picha. Last year, as the camera anakuja, anatake one man to get hiyo picha, then I send it. But mimi tunafanyaje? Isn't it? So it is the same thing, but it has been made easy by the cameras that we have on our photographs and by the use of technology, be it a phone, be it a tablet, be it a laptop. We go to the number 3, the third form of abuse. Extortion. Remember tumesema umetuma picha zako za uchi, then this person tells you they want to meet you. Or this person tells you, and mind you don't know them, hapa anakwambia endelea na kutuma picha zingine. Then you refuse. What this person does, anachukua hizo picha and upload kwa Facebook, kwa Instagram, everyone sees. That is what we call what? Sexual extortion. Yeah, it is a blackmail. Sawa. Someone is blackmailing you using the photographs zako za uchi ambazo umemtumia. Number 4, this is where we have a very extreme case of child abuse. An adult is abusing a child, now and record how they are abusing that child. Live streaming. So unaelewa what live streaming? Yes. Hii generation ya live streaming, sio? So someone like the way now we are here at the KCA ya Nairobi, mtoto news is live streaming these sessions. Ukiingia kwa YouTube page yao, utapata what is going on. So someone is abusing, an adult is abusing a child, but when I live stream somewhere else. It's very sad, senior. It's a very sad state of affairs. Then we have child sexual abuse material, or CSAM, as someone saying, which is what we normally call child pornography. It's more or less connected to number 4. These are photographs of a child being abused ambazo zinasambazwa kwa mtandao. Maybe you have ever seen
maybe you have never seen. But those are the forms of abuse that children are encountering on the internet. Okay? Which other forms? These are sexual uses. But we have other forms of abuse that are not sexual in nature. Number one is cyberbullying. This is very common, isn't it? You may even know someone who has been cyberbullied. We are talking about identity theft. This is when someone steals your information na anaitumia kama yake. Hackers, yes, hackers will steal your information. Alafu kwa profile yake, anaweka hiyo information yako ikuwe ni kama yake. Are we together so far?
Yes.
Yes. Then we have, you children are getting addicted to the internet. Mnalala sana siku hizi. Mnalala sana saa mbili. I don't agree with you. Saa ngapi tunalala saa ngapi? Saa sita? Saa tatu? Saa nane? Saa nane? Kwa nini hizo masaa? Saa nane, saa sita? What are we doing? Watching movies, playing games. What else are we doing? This side not on the oh, these are grown-ups. What else? What time are we sleeping? Sangapi? 5 a.m. As if I'm not kulala asubuhi, sio? Internet addiction. Internet addiction. How long can you stay without to take for the WhatsApp inaendelea ama IG inaendelea? How long can you stay? How long? Internet addiction.
1 week.
That's 1 week. You can stay for 1 week. Okay? Then we have online radicalization. There are people who want to brainwash you na kukwambia mambo ambayo hafai. Na hawa watu internet wanakwambia nini? A lot of bad things that you should stop doing this and do that. And children are being changed every day and being changed in a bad way, not in a good way. So we have online radicalization. Gambling. Wangapi mkwata na PayPal accounts hapa? Wangapi she has? How many of us are gambling? They think I'm short. How many of us? I'm not being honest. We are children here. So we are boys or girls, I'm also a girl, so wangapi tunagamble online betika. Inaona kuna misoseni. Children are doing online gambling. Juu saa hiyo, hakuna mtu anataka ID yako. They don't know you. They don't know how old you are. But you have an account. You have a social also where to gamble. Addiction to pornography. Unajua wewe unidanganya sijawahi ona porno kwa hizo site na mbele yako. You are not looking for it, but maybe it pops up, Yes. So you have been exposed, which is an abuse in itself because you are a child who should be protected from inappropriate content. Addiction to gaming. Kama games wengi sana. Hata nimesikia zile za games zingine sijawahi sikia. How many of us tunapenda gaming? See? This side one. Gaming. You tunafanya. Have you ever met anyone wakati tunafanya gaming someone you don't know? You normally game even strangers, Kuna mtu ambaye kukuandikia message mbaya wakati tunafanya gaming? You're very lucky children. Okay. That's it, So how do you stay safe? Wakati wa when you're on the internet, whether through your phone, through your laptop, through your tablet, wherever, how do you make sure that you're safe from all those things that we've talked about? What do you do? Block before. beshe yangu. What do you do? The same way you don't talk to strangers when you walk out there, it's the same way you should not accept friend requests from strangers for internet. In fact, the internet is even worse because after tunaonana, so there is not anonymity. It's just a screen and yourself. So do you know this person? No, you don't. One of the measures to make sure that you are using the internet safely and to protect you as a child is always to be courteous and only send messages that are not hurting or embarrassing to others. Are we together? Courtesy. The same way you are courteous to others, is the same way you should be courteous while using the internet. Then you must remember that everything you post, and you can see the words I have highlighted in orange. I want you to note those words. Remember, everything you post can be traced back to you. Think twice before you click send or enter. We are saying there's something we call digital footprints. Hata ukidelete kwa page yako, iko kwa system. Tuko pamoja? Anything you send, we can always retrieve it from you. And 10 years from now, when you start looking for a job, your employer will ask you for your social media accounts. Wanataka kuona what kind of a person am I going to employ. Then watapata zile picha zote mbaya. Ulifanya nini? Ulituma. Nani atakupea job? Nobody. So, digital footprints, the internet never forgets. Sawa? Then do not post anything that you would not want older people whom you respect to read or to watch. Before you decide to upload anything on your internet, ask yourself, would your mom, would your dad, would your teacher, would your grandmother, your aunt, your friends, would they be happy if they saw what you're about to post up? See? So I think I'm going to get a message in a picture, then you want to share with other friends. But ask yourself whether people you respect, whether older people would be happy to see that. When Brenda was teaching us about our rights, she also talked about responsibilities. That is one of your responsibilities. Do not share anything that I find you are sharing. Ensure that your private settings are secure and don't share with anyone. What kind of information unawekanga wakati unafungua maybe account yako ya IG ama ya Twitter? Do you give your full names? Do you use your nicknames? What do you use? You use nicknames, eh? What other information do you use there? What other information? I'm told I have 10 minutes. I can talk 20 minutes. So then how can we help you to stay safe while you're on the internet? There is something we call the SMART concept. And SMART here is an acronym. On to the next slide. The S stands for set your limits. That is also why you're at one. Your hand goes up. The first S for the SMART stands for set your limits. Okay.
If you're on social media, use the privacy settings to protect your online profile so that only your friends can see it. Use a nickname that only your real friends can recognize. Think twice before you share anything online. Once you post information, photos, or any other material on the internet, you may never remove it or prevent other people from using it. Don't accept harassment or cyberbullying by other people, and don't bully others either.
So the first S of the word SMART stands for set your limits. Which social media platforms do we use? It is how police. Unasema kwa internet. Which platforms do you use? Okay. YouTube. Facebook. Playing games. IG. Instagram. TikTok. WhatsApp. Twitter. Oh, Opera Mini. Yes. Okay. Now, remember we said SMART is an acronym, eh? See, tumesoma the first one, the S. Set your limits. We go to the next one, the M. Meeting online friends offline. Is someone there to read for us? The mic is behind you.
Do not meet strangers. Think twice before meeting an online friend in real life. If you have to, then you should be accompanied by your parents or a trusted adult. People lie and your online friends might turn out to be a different kind of person, a child abuser.
So we said you don't know who your friend is on the internet, eh? Then they ask you to meet them. Would you meet them? If someone asks you to meet them, the M tells you what to do. The A in smarts, yeah. This is like our game here. Yes, the A in the smarts.
Don't accept anything, and don't accept everything sent to you on social media. While online, you can connect with people not known to you, strangers. If you are not sure about an invitation, there is nothing wrong with declining. It's better to be safe than to be sorry.
Yeah, in short, hata mtu wote kukutisha mko friends kwa social media, you don't have to say yes. Sawa? Yes. They are reliable.
Not everything is true on social media. Protect yourself from inappropriate content or sharing such content with others. Ignore bad behaviors and live in pleasant conversation or sites with inappropriate content. Block anyone using rude or threatening comments. Always be alert if someone, including a stranger, tries to talk to you about sex or anything that makes you uncomfortable. If you have been tricked into engaging in sexual activities or sharing your nudes, always send a trusted adult so that you receive help or also report.
The T in the SMART concept.
T, tell someone about your concerns. If you have any concerns or problems while online, you need to tell your parents, teachers, or a trusted adult. They will give you advice. Remember, no problem is too big to be solved. You can report harmful content on the social media platform or website. You can report illegal content to an internet hotline or to the police. cov.ke/cirt.go.ke or iwm.org.uk/Kenya. You can also report to a children officer 116 and to the police through 0800722203 toll free.
We are a digital generation. 116 hauwezi pata tu kwa simu hivi. You also use their social media platforms to report. 116 is there. They have a website. There's a Facebook page. They are also on Twitter. You can use that WhatsApp, Instagram, and email. It's not just the phone call, eh? Now most of us tunalala saa 11 tukiwa kwa simu, so we can always also report using the social media platforms. So don't agree to post sexualized messages and material, for it can be used against you. Delete unused accounts. Some people have 5 accounts. Delete the ones that you're not using. Avoid public Wi-Fi networks. Don't just connect anywhere because that is how your data is also stolen. Create strong passwords that cannot be easily, hacked. Block strangers trying to reach you online. Always remember to be smart when you're online. Sawa?
Yes.
Thank you.
have shown how to report all those things.
Thank you so much. But I'm sure that Japan and Mobsana, you have learned something, right? Yes. Right? So we'll do a short activity. Okay? Let's start.
We're going to stretch, okay? But we're going to stretch according to what we learned. So let's do an O, C, the other side, C, S. How do we do the S? Come on, help me out. Let's be creative. C, S, I mean, then E. How do we do it? Then an A. Now let's spell it out. O. C. The other side again. C. S. E. And O for C for S for E for A for. Okay, then one more thing we have learned was C sound. The other side C, S, A, let's be creative, L. We have to L, C sound, okay? Yeah. It's easier, but okay. C, good job. Real quick. Hi, thank you, Mr. Otieno and Miss Nuta. Yes, help us. How do we do that? Okay. So let's do. O. C is like C, then S. First of all, you do this, then the thumb here, then okay. E. Yeah. So the thumb like this. Okay. So we're learning something new today as well. Clear? Alright. O. Then C. B. E. A. Like. You see after your then the thumb should be here. There's a difference between A and S. S is here, A is here. Yeah. Okay? So I'll begin my focus. Take our seats. Thank you very, very much. So that was a breather. That was a nice breather for you guys. How do you feel? Shake a bit. Shake. Great. You can hear me clap once. Let's clap twice for the next speaker. Thank you very much. Can you listen to the next?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Bugore Esther. I'll be taking you through a very short session that is very interesting also. I know we've talked quite a lot about the different forms of abuse, isn't it? Yes. And I want us to talk about a form of abuse that today nobody has mentioned. I know one of the facilitators was able to mention it, but when you were being asked on the various forms of abuse, this form of abuse was not mentioned. So I'll take a few minutes so that we are able to talk about it, and what we'll do is that it will be a discussion that will take at most 20 minutes so that you can be able to welcome the next facilitator. So my topic for today is on missing children. My topic is what? Missing children. Missing children.
a big one, isn't it? Yes. Who is a missing child? Who is a missing child? Please speak louder. Use this.
A missing child is a child that she wrote, he or she wrote.
Yeah, a child who is lost, isn't it? That is a form of a child who is away from home and his parents are not aware where that child is. Ni mtoto ambaye amefanya nini? Amepotea. Na ndipo nini watoto wanapotea? Nani anajua? Kwa nini watoto wanapotea? Yes? Pardon?
Because of child trafficking.
Because of child trafficking. Child trafficking. Mtoto tu anakuja, anakuwa traffic, anapelekwa mahali, anaenda either anapelekwa mahali ambapo labda anaenda kufanyishwa kazi, wengine wanatumiwa kwa pornography, wengine kwa child labor, si ndio? Yes, because of child trafficking, that is one of the reasons why children.
She's being abused. He or she's being abused at her home.
Great. That is also another reason why children go missing. Ya kwamba katika mahali ambapo wanaishi, they are being abused. And what happens when they are abused? They run away from home. And when they run away from home, we consider them missing children because their parents do not know where they are.
Kidnapping.
Yes, kidnapping. I know you've seen in the various media, whether the social media, the mainstream media, you've been able to see children who have gone missing. Who have gone missing. Even the issue of, we've just been talking about online abuse. I know, like a year ago, there was a case whereby children met an adult person in the social media, like 3 girls, or 3 or 4 girls. They met somebody and they traveled all the way to Mombasa. And for their parents, they were missing. So basically, we have various categories of missing children. We have those that have run away. We have some another category that we call lost and found. And these are children who, for instance, as you're going home and you just get lost and you're unable to trace your home area. And based on that, the children's department, we have something that we call the CPIMS. The CPIMS has data on all case categories. And I want to give you the data for 2020. The number of children that got lost in the year 2020 was 1,250 children. Sio ni watoto wengi? Yes. Alafu pia wale ambao mko katika social media. Nani ashaiona missing child Kenya? Kosea mtoto ambaye amefanya nini? Si mkikaa mnakaa mkiona watoto ambao wamefanya nini? Wamepotea. Na according to Missing Child Kenya, in 2010, watoto 10 ambao walipotea walipatikana wamefanya nini? Wameaga dunia. Si unaona that's ni jambo ambalo linatatiza. Na tuliona ya kwamba some of these children ambao wanapotea ni ambao unakuta wameenda some of them are for organ harvesting. Unaisikia kitu kama hiyo? Yes. Unachukuliwa ama unaibiwa, that is abduction, so that your organ can be sold to somebody else. And so, as a result of this rising number of cases, as a result of the rising cases of missing children, the Department of Children Services was able to form a technical working group, and they developed some guidelines. And these guidelines are supposed to help people, children, everyone, every stakeholders, so that they are able to very quickly act and trace children who go missing, such that You as Vivian, if you get lost, there are various procedures that should quickly happen so that you are returned back to your family. And so, with that, one of the key elements information sasa nafunza wakati ambapo tunatengeneza guidelines, kuna kitu ambacho tunaita child participation. Tulisomeshwa na Brent kuhusu child participation. Yes. So child participation. So I am going to ask a few questions regarding missing children, so that we can get your views on what you think about this whole issue of missing children and how we can protect children so that they do not go missing. Okay? Yes. So my first question, and I know, my first question is, ushaipotea? Nani ashaipotea? Nani ashaipotea? Na nitauliza mmoja tu atuelezee kwa dakika chache tu. Ulipopotea, what happened? Tuambie na huyu. Tuambie.
So, kwa safari. So basi kuna Max coaches.
Yes.
In our schools. So they totally the same.
Yes.
So ukirudi kama utaangalia gate number, you get the process. So I started looking. It started climbing bus to bus. Is this our luggage? No. Is this our luggage? No. Luckily my mom caught me. She showed me how I came home.
How did you feel? How did you?
Nervous, shocked, as if you would never be found again.
Yes, it's very, you feel very nervous, you don't know, sometimes you even get confused, and that's how you see people crying, or children crying on the streets because they are lost. So, that is one scenario. Anybody else who has ever gotten lost? Yes, the lady at the back? Yeah, this lady.
We were in a supermarket.
Yes.
To be specific, we were in Tuskys.
Yes.
And then my mom and my siblings and my dad, they had gone to look for something. They left me, I don't know what I was looking at. I don't remember at the time. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I have to go up. I'm alone. I don't know.
What did you do?
First I started crying. Almost 30 minutes.
Were there people who are talking to you, or they were just passing you as you?
They were looking at me and passing by.
No one was talking to you.
No.
Uh-huh.
So then I went to the reception and I told them I was lost. Then they called my parents. And my mom told me that next time I do that, she's going to give me inside of her head.
Yeah, I can imagine the sort of trauma your mom went through, and also the trauma that you went through when you went missing. And so, let's think about it. I know somebody had said, we had talked about why people go missing. Like the case of what's your name? Judy. Or Georgina. Yeah. For your case, what could have been the reason that you went missing? I want us to very quickly talk about the reasons as to why people go missing or they get lost. Kuna mtu anasema ati ni kuzubai.
I lacked focus.
Pardon?
I lacked focus.
Or she lacked focus, What are the reasons causes people to get lost, to be abducted, to be trafficked? What are some of the other reasons? Yeah, that side, yes?
Family matter.
Pardon?
Family matter.
Family matters such as?
When dad and mom separate.
Yeah, when mom and dad separate, so sometimes it may be the issue of the fact that they may be fighting the domestic violence, or maybe poverty. Any other reason why people go missing? Why children go missing? Yes?
Ignorance.
Ignorance. And what do you mean by ignorance?
Like God was saying that he got lost in a bus. So you see, sometimes you ignore minor details.
Yes.
And you end up confused. Yeah, so ignorance is one reason most people get lost.
Yeah. For instance, you find somebody, if I ask you, what is your mother's number, telephone number? How many know their parents' telephone numbers? Wangapi wanajua namba ya baba yao hata mama baba? Unajua zote hivi? So you find that sometimes also the way she has said, we are not very observant, even as we walk. Unakuta tu mtu ako tu kwa simu ama anasikiza nini? Na hapo ndipo utakutana na mtu. You know, somebody can just put gas on you na kubebe because you're not observant. Ushaisikia kitu kama hiyo when you are abducted, Yeah. And also when you don't know your own particular square, which is the next building that is nearer to you. So those are some of the reasons or the reasons why children go missing. What is the role of the child in protecting yourself from going missing? What is your role? What should you do? What is your role and how one? Avoid talking to strangers. Another? Be aware of the various offices that you can seek help. Don't go to places that you don't know. Utafanya nini? Utapotea. Avoid distraction along the road. You be very keen and be a focused person. Any other role? Yeah, sometimes when you're going to a place that you don't know, it's good that you walk in a group. Now, thank you for that. What is the role of the parent and the caregiver in preventing and protecting children from going missing? Yes? Yes, a parent should always know where the child is going. Na hiyo sasa mmenyamaza, hello. Watu wa Kabuti, hello. Are you together? Yes. Any other role of the parents? Yes. Good. Ya kwamba mzazi ambie mtoto wake ajue nambari ya simu, majina, ambayo anafanya nini? Anaitwa, the last one of the parents. Wow, technology. She says that a parent can keep a tracking device and anajua mahali mtoto ako. Okay, thank you. Then we have the school fraternity, we have the teaching and non-teaching staff. Any role? Shule iko na nafasi ya kuzuia watoto wasipotee. Role yao ni gani? Knowing where the peoples are going. Or she has said that there. That school should offer guidance and counseling to those who run away because of family issues. Any other thing? The last two? Yes, at the school area, ensure that there is enough security and yes, when children go for a function, they should be accompanied. The same way we've come for the KCA, isn't it? Sikila mtu ako na chapel. So that anytime So these are the chaperone who has accompanied the person. The second last one, we have the community. This includes the churches, community. What is the role of community in preventing and protecting children? I'm a community in Nairobi, yes? What's your name?
Angel.
Angel, yes.
The community,
Yes.
they should make sure that every child is protected, whether it's your child or not. The child is your responsibility as long as they're in your community.
Yes.
It's your responsibility to make sure that they're protected.
Yes, the community has a role of ensuring that the child is protected. Any other reason? Kamkuti, hello. About what Kamkuti? Oh, the governor, the speaker, it's very clean, listening. Any other role of the community? The community includes religious institutions, nyumba kumi.
Providing assistance to
Pardon?
Providing assistance to any lost child.
Good, yeah, they should provide assistance to any lost child. And lastly, the government. Does the government have roles? This includes the police, children's department, government, judiciary. When we have just only 2 or 3, yes?
As in kama polisi anakuja tuseme ana check after every 2 days anakuja kucheck mtoto yuko. Na hapo as in to make sure kama mtoto hapo na as in anafanya nini.
Oh, he's saying that an officer. Oh, okay, thank you. I'm just about to finish. He's saying that an officer should go, a police officer, should go to a parent's home and anaangalia kama mtoto yuko ama hayuko. Any other role of the government?
They should ensure that they are children's officers.
Ya kwamba the government should ensure that we have children offices. The last 2 wewe umeongea, so wewe na huyu mwingine ni nani? Yes.
Okay. Mine is not a point, but I oppose what you are saying.
Yes.
Because you can't, yes, we know police are for protecting us, but each and every time, it can be coming over. What if your parent is not there?
Yes.
There are some parents who work day and night. So like checking up on kids all the time, it can't work. But creating like the government to create awareness in children that go missing, things like those.
She refers to what Mr. Otieno has said and says that in yes. And says that the role of the government or the government is to create awareness and not for the police officers to go to children's home, to a child's home to check whether the child is there. Yes.
The watchman who's assigned over there, due to surveillance activities without some of
Okay. Ya kwamba the watchman should ensure that mtoto asitoke nje ya gate bila ruhusa ya mzazi ama mtoto. Ni mzazi, sawa sawa. When a child goes missing, mtoto akipotea hapa, tuseme ndio umepotea, okay? Hello? That side, hello? Mtoto akipotea, what should be done? What should we do? What is the first thing we should do? Yes. Look for them. She says that we should look for them within 24 hours. My dear, that side, yes?
Report to the police.
Report to the police, yes. What else should we do when a child goes missing? Call 116. Report to the children's office. sit down. Lastly, when a child is found, mtoto ndio huyo alipotea na sasa amepatikana. Akipatikana, tunafaa tufanye nini? What should we do? Yes. Anasema ya kwamba tukuelezea askari ya kwamba mtoto amepatikana, asiendelee kufanya nini? Kutafutwa.
We must thank God.
We must thank God, amen? Yes. Take him to the hospital for checkup. Yes. Yeah, ask this child when she was, and lastly,
If kidnapped, they should look for those people who kidnapped him.
yeah. If that child has been kidnapped, it's the duty of the government to look for those people who had kidnapped this child. So I want to appreciate you because everything that you mentioned will be captured in the guidelines, and we appreciate the fact that you've been able to help us ensure that you'll be able to have a good document that captures the view of the children. So with that, with those few or many remarks, may I say thank you? Yeah, thank you very much.
Great, thank you very much. Nafilaje? Mkwaji. So 25th May is going to be the International Day of Missing Children. Okay? So we 25th May. So we celebrate all children, okay? So. Yeah. And now I believe unajua kitu unaweza fanya kidogo slow. Ama unaweza na uambie bishi yako nilifunzo, si ndio? Ama small C's, ama big C, si ndio? Ama mom. Hata mom, si ndio? Wambie mom. 1 1 1 1 6. Very good. Now, I know this is a bit of heavy material for you to recognize that, and I appreciate you guys for sitting here and listening. 1 clap for yourselves. 2 clap for yourselves. 3 clap for yourselves. 4 clap for yourselves. 5 clap for yourselves. Very good, very good. Now, at this juncture, we have Alice from our vision here to take us through presentation on the Nairobi Child Protection Policy. Not more protected? Yes. You guys know you're protected? Yes. How many know they're protected? How many do not know they are protected? Well, let me tell you. You are protected. Sister Sultan? I am protected. I am protected. Yes, all of you. Even those ones. Yes. She's asking, even the ones in the streets, living in the streets. Yes. Now, where's the mic? These are questions. You see these people here? Can I just yes?
Why are they not taken to the orphanage or Chukulia? They are taken to the orphanage instead of just being left on the streets because it's kind of balancing reality for trash cans and all.
Okay, so hold that thought. So, and if you have any more questions, andika mahali shop kuzichukua. Sawa, 1 clap for Alice.
it's always advisable that we keep on asking, isn't it? Hakuna mtu anasema yes. Okay, so we have a very short time. The program says we end at what time? Okay. So we want to end as soon as possible so that you're able to go back home. I'm here to invite two people who will lead us in the next session. And the next session we are discussing about policy, isn't it? Policy. Who can define what a policy is in any simple word? What is a policy? Yes? Who was giving this? Where's the other? Okay, that's this one.
Like a rule, a set of rules.
A clap for her. So she's talking about like a set of rules. She's got it, isn't it? Yes. Because policy define, give direction, give regulation on how things should be done. So when we're talking about children policy, it is a set of guidelines, it is a set of rules, regulations that guide how children should be protected, isn't it? We know we already have the Children's Act, we have the United Convention of the Rights of Children, isn't it? We have the African Charter. I hope Nadia, hizo ni masheria mingi zile zina protect watoto. They don't only protect, but pia inapeana watoto responsibility, sivyo? Kama mtu ako na haki lazima kuwe na jukumu. So as much as we have rights, we also have responsibility. Yes. So the main role is for us to protect. So Nairobi County, tunajua tuko na hiyo national frameworks, tuko na policy at the national level, lakini kwa county tumekuwa tukifanya pamoja na county because sasa hivi tunajua tuko kwa devolved government system, sivyo? So kama tuko na county, pia county inafaa iwe na policy, sababu hiyo policy ndio itasaidia vile county government pia itaprotect watoto. Na itasaidia pia county government kuweka resources zile zitaenda kwa protection and even welfare of children. So Nairobi County imekuwa ikiandika hiyo policy, haijaisha, we are in the process. So there is already a draft. Kuna ka document tayari wameandika, lakini kabla inaisha, si lazima watoto pia waseme vile wanataka, because it is meant for you. So that is why we felt it is good for you to hear hiyo policy nasema nini na nini ungetaka muongezee nini hapo. So that mkubaliane naye. So it's good for you as a safety representative to contribute. Pia kuna watoto wengine pia tulisahau position. So we put all the inputs that will go into the final document. Umekubali? So we take the opportunity to invite the facilitator, Dr. Philemon and Madam Lucy, who will take us through that session. How many are going to concentrate and give it their best shot? Wangapi wanaenda concentrate na kupeana their views? Thank you. Pamoja kwenu.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope you are all fine. I'm glad that this afternoon I attended the session because I heard the facilitators talking about the various abuses that children experience. It might be that you may have not experienced this kind of abuses, but maybe your classmates, maybe your friend, maybe someone you know experienced such. And as already been stated, that is is one reason why the Nairobi City County decided to ensure that you are well protected. And so this afternoon, we are going to talk about what is in the Nairobi County Child Protection Policy. Isn't it? Protection and Safeguarding Policy. Just give me the next slide to tell you why this is important. First, we know that child protection or child abuse is not just about something that happens in Kenya only. It happens globally, all over the world. In Africa, in East Africa, and even in Kenya, in Nairobi, and even in our own homes. Isn't it? Yes. Yes, it happens in our homes. And sometimes when children are abused, there are certain things that can happen. For example, what would happen? Or he or she may die, yes. What else may happen? A child may have a child at an early age, isn't it? Stress at an early age. Yes? And sometimes, yes.
Some of them, sometimes
Yes, you have mental health issues. So all of those are negative results. Some can even drop out of school, isn't it? Yeah? And of course, if you watch the movie, as you were saying, the whole night for 1 week, would you be healthy? Eh? You'll be walking in there and you're like, you're asleep, isn't it? Yes. So all those are reasons why this child protection safeguarding policy was brought about. But there were also certain researches that were done. Because nowadays, we believe in evidence. Do you know what evidence is?
Yes.
What is evidence? Yes? Yes. So, one, we are told there that in Nairobi City itself, the county did some statistics. They counted the number of child abuse cases that were reported. How many were there? You can see them there. How many? 8,000?
795.
Are those few? There are many. And remember, those numbers could be your friend, could even be yourself. Yeah? Could even be someone you know. And then, another research was carried out in 2019 and 2020. It showed that, in fact, sometimes we think that boys are not abused. It's only who is abused? Girls. Is that not what we always think? No. Okay, good. I'm glad that you don't always think that. But it found that about 50.5% were how many? Were who? Male and female boys, isn't it? And how many were girls? What percentage? 49.5. So actually, more boys than girls were abused. And see, when we see such, then we realize that it's very important to talk about, not just to talk about child abuse, but also to ensure that there are policies in place to protect and safeguard boys and girls. Okay? So that is very important. Then we have the next slide. So, just give me the next slide. I think I won't go through that. But what I want to tell you is that right now there's a draft child protection safeguarding policy in place. And that's what you are going to discuss this afternoon. And it's divided into 4 parts. Okay? The first part is just an introduction section. And I'll be sharing with you a document like this, and I think, Lucy, you can just go ahead and pass them around. Okay? So the first part is introduction, which which basically provides a summary of the policies that are available in Kenya. So just pass that around. Okay? The second part is just about the situation analysis. It tells you really what is it, why are we even discussing child protection policy, child protection safeguarding policy. And some of those issues are already mentioned. Okay? Okay? So let me just Alright? So the second part just basically talking about the situation, so that you can understand why it is important to have a child protection and safeguarding policy. And then you can give you the next one. The third section is about the policy, basically the priority, the policy priority. So we look at those priorities specifically, and those are the areas that we want you to actually have a discussion on those priority areas. And then we'll talk about the implementation. How will this be implemented? And as we'll be looking at how this will be implemented, you also have an opportunity for your voice to be heard there to say, oh, we want this to be implemented in this way. We want it to be done in this way. Okay? Just give you the various policy priority areas. So the first area is on survival rights. And survival rights are the areas that have what? You can read. What do they have? Yes. I wish you can give yes, a mic. What are the survival rights? Nutrition,
shelter, adequate, living standard, and basic health care.
Nutrition is just like food, right? Making sure that you have food. Shelter, just so that you have roof over your what? Your head. You sleep in a house, right? Adequate living standard. Even if you are in a house, at least you have a toilet, you have water, and all that. Okay? And basic health care. If you are sick, then you can go to a hospital and get treated. Now, can somebody tell me about the protection rights? Who wants to read that? Give him. Okay? The protection rights, what are they?
Protection of children from child neglect, physical abuse, child labor, sexual abuse, FGM, child trafficking and kidnapping, drug and substance abuse, negative impacts of information, communication, technology and media, negative influence and harm by caregivers, response and care for children in contact with the law, street families, orphans and vulnerable children, children in emergency, children in alternative care and charitable institutions.
There are many big words there, right? Many big words there. But there are some that we've already talked about. You've talked about child labor, isn't it? You've talked about physical abuse, isn't it? You've talked about neglect. Sexual abuse. FGM means? Wow. Negative impact on information, communication technology. Just this afternoon, someone talked about this. What were they? You remember? Huh? You remember the law says we shouldn't engage in. So all that is covered there. There's also another called emerging issues in child protection. Which ones are these? Can you just run and give her? Oh, okay. Give her the ideas. What are they?
Intersex child and online child sexual exploitation.
We talked about this one, isn't it? Those, when someone tells you to take a photo when you are naked, and then you share. Those are the things that are there. So those are covered. Okay? Development rights. Give it there. Yes. What are they?
Education, leisure, play, culture, artistic activities, access to age-appropriate information, social security, freedom of thought, conscience, religious and parental care, identify and registration.
Identity and registration. Yes. All that. But at least you have your birth certificate. You know that you are born where? In Kisumu. Yes. You could be born in Kisumu. Yeah? Or at least born in Kenya, isn't it? Yes. Or in Nairobi, or in Kiambu, or wherever, isn't it? Yes. So all those development rights. There was a hand there, participation. Participation rights. And that is why we are here also.
Form and airways, expression, thoughts, concerns, religion, association, and privacy.
Yes. The reason we are here is so that you can participate. Yeah? So that your voice can be heard. Your voice can be heard because you are representing children where? In Nairobi County, isn't it? Yes. So when you speak, it's about children that you are representing. It's not about yourself. It's about who? Other children, including yourself. So that is why we are here today, so that you can participate. We don't just write it, but we ensure that you have a voice. That your voice is heard. So then, how do we expect to do it? Of course, the document has been written, and we have just summarized it. But we want to hear your voices through it. So can we go to the next slide? Yes, these are some of the policy recommendations. What is this big document? We have not put the big document, but we have a summary of the word recommendations. What is this recommending? On survival rights, who would like to take us through that? Yes, it's a hand. On survival rights, which rights are these?
Free comprehensive medical care for all children, free access to public latrines and toilets, adequate clean drinking water, quality mental health services for all children strengthened, strategies to improve maternal child health services, multi-sectorial coordination for service provision for child survivors of violence, HIV comprehensive care for children and adolescents, programs at personal hygiene, physical fitness, reproductive and mental health, promote healthy lifestyles among children and control accurate malnutrition.
Oh yes, all those are under survival rights. Okay? Yes. So that is one. Then there's the next one. Development. What are these? There's a hand. I think, yes, bring it right over here. And then you give the young man in red over there after. Yes.
Increase access to education for all children and eliminating barriers to education. Ensure quality infrastructure that is child and disability friendly. promote access to social protection programs to vulnerable children that encourage access to education, provide child-friendly and secure spaces for children to play, promote and embrace good cultural practices and advocate against harmful practices, promote positive parental skills and support, promote alternative family care instead of institutionalization of children, provide the enabling environment for access to appropriate information, support religious activities that enhance children's spiritual nourishment.
There was a word there that was difficult. That institutionalization. Isn't it? Yeah. What that means is that instead of taking children to a children's home, right? They may get families that are willing to take up these children. And that will even be your family. Yeah? You have another brother or sister who is from out there, maybe from the street, but they are accepted in your home and you accept to live with them as a brother or what? Or sister. Instead of them living in a children's home, in an institution. Okay? That is what that means. Go to the next. Yes, participation. Yeah, give him. A young man there. Yes.
Enhance the public participation policy and act to include child participation strategies and to activate in planning, implementing, monitoring, evaluation, and reporting. Strengthen children assemblies, forums, and structures as learning institutions to enhance mentorship in governance and in leadership. Support meaningful participation of children during county, national, and international celebration. Develop talent management strategies and frameworks across the county. Disseminate international, national, and county child participation mechanisms to children and all stakeholders.
Wow, you spoke very well. And some of that is what you are doing. Have you seen anything that is happening here already? Can anybody show me or read to me what is already happening this week? Can you identify that? Yeah? What is happening? Give her. What is happening?
Child participation.
But there is something else that is happening. What is happening here? Why are you here for this week? Yeah, there's a hand there. Why are you here this week?
Strengthen children assemblies, forums, and structures at learning institutions to enhance mentorship in governance and leadership.
I remember in the morning, the first person, I think, first or second person who spoke was saying that when you see leaders like who are also part of this, you mentioned two names. Which names were they? Yes, they also participate. So this is what we are talking about. So it's already happening, but we want to make sure it's enhanced so that it happens even more. That's two more slides. Yes, there's protection. There's a hand back there. Protection. Almost slides. Yes.
Protection. Promote positive parenting practices through family welfare clinics. Promote economic empowerment to increase families' finances and resilience. Identify, strengthen, and equip existing safe spaces for child surveillance and abuse. Enhancing capacity building and sensitization of child protection and emerging issues. Coordinate, regulate, and facilitate rescue, rehabilitation, reintegration, and resocializing of street children and other vulnerable children. Establish a team from all sectors to address child case management and referral mechanisms.
Yes. That's another section. Now, after looking at all those recommendations, let us look at what were the thoughts about implementation. Okay? He wants to read for the implementation. There are just a few, but let him participate in that as well. Okay? Implementation. Yes, give him.
Allocate at least 2% of its annual budget to family and children services. Review policy at least once every 5 years.
Yes, so Nairobi County will want to know. By the way, if they say 2%, it's not enough money. What does 2% mean? Suppose Nairobi County budget was 1 million. How much would that 2% be? Quick maths. If their budget was 1 million, how much would 2% be? You're not bigger than my teacher. Huh? 200,000. Huh? 20,000. 200? If it is 0.2 times, that 1 million is what? You only move to 1 decimal place, isn't it? Or 2 decimal places. 1. So if it is 1, so how much is that? It is 20? Not 200. 20. Yeah, because if it was 20%, then it would be 200, isn't it? So that is 20,000. But if it was 1 billion, yeah, you see it's increasing. Yeah. So how much would that be? Yeah? It can't be 50. It must keep on. Two must always be there. Yeah? 1 billion has how many zeros? Huh? No, 9. Yeah? 9. So if you move to 2 decimal places, what would that be? Yeah? 200 million, isn't it? Yes. So that's what 2% means. So the bigger the budget, the more you get, right? Yes. So we're saying that here the African is saying that 2% would be like that. And then every 5 years they can review and say, maybe this 2% is a little bit less. Can we make it 5? Can we make it? And so on and so forth. Then the last part. I want people who haven't spoken, so I can see that young one there in blue back there. Just keep raising your hand. Yes. Yes.
Resource mobilization. Establish a resource coordination and mobilization framework. Embrace public-private partnership in policy formulation and implementation. Establish methods of fundraising and using funds in the most effective, efficient, and accountable manner. Recruit, deploy, train, and retain staff to facilitate implementation of this policy. Make periodic resource analysis to identify gaps and sources of funding and develop strategies for effective resource mobilization.
Now, you have about 10 minutes. Yeah? We are going to divide you into groups. How many of you are here today? What's the number? Yeah? 40? 45. So we can have a group of 5, isn't it? If there are 45. 9. So that we have 5 groups. No, but I want 9 groups because if you are
51.
Yeah?
5-1.
There are 51. Yeah, so, but anyway, I want you to be in a group of 6. One group will be less. But I want at least 6. Oh, actually, we could even have, how many tables are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 per table. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's just have each table. Yeah? So that we don't disrupt so much. Okay? We want each table, but what we are going to do, because of each table, some may have to come and sit facing each other. So that, you see this paper, it back side, where you have the policy recommendations. Okay? Where you have policy recommendations. We have each group just look at one policy recommendation, not everyone. One policy word, recommendation, and you see anything you want to add. Yeah? So that questions are there. We want to write down what you would want to be included or added. Something that you don't sit down and think, this is important, we need to add. Okay? Or what is missing? I think this one is missing. I've read this, but I see something missing. And if you have any questions, okay, you can also write down that questions. So once you write that, then we give maybe one or two just to share, give us a feedback. But then everything that you have written, you will give us. Is that doable? Yeah? Children, is that doable? Then we will come around and if you have questions, you can ask them. But you have to select a chair, person, and a secretary. So can we organize ourselves? And what we're going to write on, you just write on these books that you have, and those points that you have written, we'll have. Is that okay? So can you organize yourselves in that manner? Each table you just face each other. Okay? Okay, if something like that, yes, maybe two of you can come back in, so that, can you just organize yourselves? Also, some of you may want to get your seats out and come in here and you make a circle. Yeah? You can also come out and just make a circle here. Let's do very quickly, because you have up to. Some of you said you want to go by 4, isn't it? So can you work faster? Each group. Yeah? Can you work faster? Okay, I'll help you move very quickly. I used to move very quickly. Yeah? Nowadays, people just move so slowly. I used to run. Okay. Now, some of you are here. This is for you. You are here. No, you are here. Can you? Others for you. Okay. Can I have one of you come in? One of you can come in. Okay, so that you are actually 2 more. What you do? Move there. Move your seat over there. One more. Come quickly. So that you can sit there. Can you turn this way? How many people are here? How many? Yeah, okay, so
That's it. So I can see you in your groups. I'll come around and just allocate you what section you'll be looking at. So we are not looking at all the 20 recommendations. Some groups will look at survival, others participation, development, like that, so that we can cover it in the solution.
And one of you can join here. And the chair is the one who is the council.
Hebu muulize ndio.
Who has a good right? Yeah. So you can have that question. Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's that. Yes.
So we have only 5 minutes, so you can try to just find out.
Now, when we will be presenting, we encourage at least 2 or 3 of you to come and support each other. Okay? 2 will be carrying the paper, right? Okay, and then 1 also now reading and telling us what you found. So that you are not all alone as you make the presentation. I'm going to invite us to come up front as we make presentations. Okay? Okay, I'll just move this on the side so that those little presentations can be seen. Okay, because we have a very short time, I'm going to invite the group that have completed theirs. Any group would like to come first? Is there a group that would like to come first? Okay, then I'm going to choose. Any group would like to come first? Okay, I'm going to choose this group. Please come. And I want 3 people to come, not just 1 person. 1 person will be presenting, but the others will be supporting through holding the paper, the newsprint. Can you please come? No. Okay, can these 2 come first? Yes, please come. Come. I want this to be a come. I want 3 of you, not just 1. 3 of you. Okay, can we have 2 girls and 1 boy there? Yeah. Okay, come. All right. Okay. So at this moment, I'm going to encourage each one of you to face up front. We want to hear your voices, what you are saying about this policy. Just walk on the side. That way. Please just walk on the side and then come over. Can I get another mic? Maybe somebody like that? All right. So what they are going to do, they are going to introduce themselves. Hello. Hello. Okay, if I say we, you say wa, and then okay, we. Wa. We. Wa. When you say wa, then you stay silent. We. Wa. Can I have you face the front? Okay, I want everyone to face the front. Okay. So this is going to be group 1 because they are first to present. So will you introduce your group members and then tell us whether you have questions on your topical area or whatever your group discussed. Welcome.
My name is Alamin Ahmed and this is group 1. And these are my fellow colleagues. This is Belinda and right. So we were given on survival. So we did have a few questions and a few things that we thought were missing. So in the first section, where we're saying to provide and establish. So the first point was stating that they could comprehensive free medical care to all the children. Now our question was, would they actually be able to do this? I mean, there are over at least 1 million children in Kenya, aren't? So there's that. And then what we thought about missing in that exactly for providing an established. There was nothing concerning shelter or any adequate living standards. So would they just leave the children out in the cold with no warmth? And then during the second section, we did there's that part which was talking about HIV. HIV is not the only major sickness right now in the world. Of course, there's corona, and then again there's cancer. Cancer needs to be addressed. It's something that it's in the world, it's out there, people are going through this, but it's not addressed that much, so I'm thinking that should be added there. And then another question was concerning the second point in the second section was, what does multi-sectorial mean exactly? And then all children should be able to access adequate education. I mean, there are some other people, some other pupils learning under trees, some don't have enough school materials. And then children's basic needs include the food, shelter, education, and clothing and health. So why isn't education particularly there? Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give them a clap. Thank you very much. I'll keep this on. Oh, you can take it over to Ruth over there. Thank you very much. There are some that maybe I might be able to respond to immediately, and probably I should have explained what multi-sectoral means. When we say multi-sectoral, it simply meant that there are many, what I call, institutions or agencies. For example, police would be involved in child protection, the judiciary or other courts should be involved, even the local authorities, the chief, the office of the president, even the school, education should be involved. That is what multi-sectoral means. So that it's not just about the child protection team only. Yeah? It means the teachers in school or within the Ministry of Education. It means that even those in the hospital, the healthcare, should be able to take care of the child protection issues. So that is what multi-sectoral actually means. Is that clear?
Yes.
You now understand what multi-sectoral means?
Yes.
Yes, that is what it is about. Thank you very much. Can I have group 2? You have a question?
I want to answer. When you say that why education is not equal as a discipline, basically this argument that one cannot do without. Food one cannot do without, but education one cannot do without. So that is why education is.
And also, why education is, let's say, you're asking why education is not
Added to their basic needs. I think it's because it's a secondary need, and if you go to the streets, I've ever visited the streets outside there when we were supplying food, they're like, you'll find that most people didn't finish their studies due to this, and they're still surviving out there. The only things they need good health, food, shelter, and clothing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. As another question comes, can I have this group also come up? Okay. Can I have this group come up? We have that group 1, group 2. Yes, if you look at can I have the sanitizer here? If you look at the development rights, under development rights you have education. Okay? If you look at development rights, you have education. They just come up. Please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon. My name is Jolene Agatha, and this is William Gates. We were given the topic of survival, and what we thought was missing in survival was food. They should reduce the sales for food so that poor families can afford buying food for their children. And the second one was to provide land and resources for planting trees, for planting and building orphanages. For the orphanages, the resources are like the seeds to plant the food for the orphanages, and the cement and wood to build the orphanages. And for the third one was donating clothes to the orphanages and the street children. Because most of the children on the streets only wear one cloth or every day. So they should ensure that children should not wear dirty clothes most of the days. And the questions were, how are you going to help us make sure what we want for the children reaches to the government? And the second one was, do you think the government will help us? Thank you.
Let's give a clap. Okay? Please clear that there. Those are very important questions. How are we sure that this, whatever we are taking here, will be implemented? Please just take them over there to Lucy. Can I have that group over there? So that is group 2. Let me have group 3. You are now group 3. Please come. And then after this group 3, then we go back to group 4. So let's move very quickly.
Good morning.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Nancy. We are presenting the protection. We were thinking protect economic empowerment to increase families' finance and research for the parent born a child with disabilities. There are children with disabilities in the streets. You find many children. And the second one promotes abused children by their families, like father abused her daughter. The third one promotes positive parenting practice through families welfare clinics and HIV children who born with it. You can find a child who born with HIV and she live with it. The fourth one, being buried in a children's home. The fifth one, being harassed by the city council neglect in the area medical can have to equal access medical care for the street children. There are 6 people in the streets, they need help and medical care. Thanks.
Yes, there brought some questions there. How will that happen? Those street children, you know? How will they be cared for? How do they go to school? And those are important questions. Let's give them a clap. Okay, that is group 3. So that is group 4. Group 4 come. Okay, so after group 4, you are group 5. Okay? So groups, please, we need to walk fast because of time. Welcome.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
My name is Agnes and
I'm Sanchez.
Regina. Oh, thank you. And you are given this topic, development policy and second one is increase our security in areas with high population and high insecurity. In that, let's go like Kibra, there many children may get lost because there are a lot of deaths. The population is high and people are of low standard. The third one, promote leaders in various communities who are dedicated to serving children. There are these leaders who dedicate themselves to serve us. May they be promoted and given another high levels. The fourth one, employment of counselors in schools and in the community at large. So, we've gone for that. In other schools, they don't have counselors. Only their teachers are the counselors and their fellow students and their prefect. So, I would like to ask the government to employ counselors who will be coming in our school and counseling us. Number 5, students for the child protection volunteers, chaperones. I can see that there are many who are dedicated in serving us. So, I will ask the government at least to pay them and increase their salaries at least in 5 to 10%. And the 6th one, form youth empowerment programs. Child to youth programs, like let's say that there's this program is below to 18 years. So let it be another one when you are a leader here. When you are above 18, you are out of this. So there's another level for you waiting for you. And we had a question. So the question is, can we form a children's court fully run or operated by children under 18 years to deal with such cases? So the reason to do that
you can hear the points, and we are really taking this one seriously. And I'm glad that we are all listening and we're documenting. Okay, can I have your group come forward? At some point, I almost thought there was something because they look like, but it's very interesting. But I think it's about recognizing those who take child protection seriously. So they are supported to ensure that they continue doing what they should be doing.
So hi everyone, my name is Lewis. This is
Margaret.
Mariam.
So we are handling the topic under participation, and we came up with around 3 ideas. So notice that the children who are able differently should have the same ratio as the rest in children assemblies. The ratio I guess 5 to 1. So okay, example here, the children who are maybe able differently are less, and the other number is greater. So we should at least equal the field so that they also feel special. They also feel that they are also wanted. And in number 2, although education is a secondary need, basically it's very essential. Without education, you're nothing. In this society, if you're not educated, there's nothing you have. So the children in the streets don't have education. So like in participation, even when they grow up, they won't do anything, just manual work. You can't be unemployed somewhere without education. So we were asking maybe if they could get better housing, then a chance in education, and maybe rehabilitation because they do a lot of drugs and this really affects their health. And number 3, the county government should increase the number of forums and provide funding so that more children can gain awareness of child matters.
Do you have the last 2? I think you are good. Would you like to present? Please come. I know we are already past time by 1 minute or 2. Do you allow us to continue, children? Just for the last 2. Is that okay? Yes. Okay, thank you. Now you can come.
My name is Barak, and here we is Mark. We were looking at participation. Even if the other group just talked about participation, we had another thought about it. The first was harmonize equality and quality for education and treatment for both poor and rich peoples. We all know that the government, other people in the government, when they are paid to support the poor children who can go to school by themselves, they take the money, keep to themselves, and take their children to the best schools in the country. So we were trying to reach out to the people by saying, please, we as the KCA, reach out to the government. Tell them that's not the right thing to do as the people in the government. The second point was the government should create forums, groups where the street children can air their views in issues affecting their lives. Those children in the street are going through a very rough time. Like now, there's COVID-19. Most of them are dying. We have to reach out to them. At least let us know their opinions, what they are going through, what they want. They also want basic needs, just like us. The last one was the government should allocate money to the security to street children. Also, the street children have the right to security. They have the right to both basic and secondary needs, just like us. So the question, I don't know if it's a question of opinion. The one that I wanted to take it clearly to you was, please, let's take those street children like our own brothers and sisters, our own children. Thank you.
Well, we have a voices of the children. I think what I'm having with that thing is education. Education. I've had issues about protection, street children, issues of shelter, issues of food, basic needs. Yes, health. All of those issues, we have taken them and we raise them. What we are doing today was to be able to capture your thoughts and your voices so that we can also share them with the county government of Nairobi County Government, that they can consider what you have shared. But I also want to tell you that last week we also met with the street children. And some of the things you have said, issues of security, issues of education, issues of health, they also voiced. So what you have said is actually true. They also feel exactly what you have said. All right? Yes. Thank you very much. And I want to thank the organizers for this forum because you give us the opportunity and the children opportunity to share their views on the Nairobi County Child Protection Safeguarding Policy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. To you guys and to our facilitators today. One clap to them. Two clap to them. Two clap to it. Anyway, God did nothing that day. I totally understand. It's okay. We have come to the end of our sessions today. Clap for yourselves. We Yes? By what time? Hapa tunafaa kuwa hapa by 8 because the program starts at 8:30. Huwezi fika program zinaanza. Si lazima ndio ufungue, relax kiasi. So at least by 8, okay? Yes, so rauka, eh? Leo ukifika weka uniform yako ready, kila kitu ready, kesho tukuamka breakfast kama umekam, si ndio? Very good. Number 2, there is tea and snacks for you guys, so you want to just go empty. Tunaomba watoto wase wanapenda kula asubuhi. Yeah? Got you. Alright? Yeah, so someone to pray for us. Yes? Oh, you pray? Okay, Barack will pray. Also, kuna swali nilikuwa nimeulizwa hapa. Tukasema tutaiaddress, ndio? Yes. Just a moment. Yes. Being reminded, the Muslim brothers and sisters, your food is still there for you guys. So think about you. Take something before you leave, okay? Well, Kisha, tomorrow, you know what is going on tomorrow? I almost forgot. Kesho tunadu? Elections. Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Yes. Very good. So tunale kesho kwenye yeah? Alright, so Barack, jongea mbele, Joe. Mario. So can you allow us to answer your question tomorrow? Sorry? Alright, so
Let's go. Oh Lord, thank you for this session. You have guided us from the start to the end, Almighty Father. As we are going to our homes, Almighty Father, guide us, Almighty Father. All the things we are traveling with, Almighty Father, are made of human, Almighty Father. Guide us with your blood, Almighty Father. As we are going to live, Almighty Father, even the people of the KC, Almighty Father, guide them and cover them with your blood, Almighty Father. As we come tomorrow, Almighty Father, let us be the fresh minds that you have today. In Jesus' name I believe.
Amen. Thank you, Barack.